Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a question that seems to be on a lot of minds. How, and maybe more importantly, where, can you actually get Mounjaro?
Right. It's a medication we hear more and more about, mainly for type 2 diabetes, but also, weight loss comes up a lot too.
Exactly. So, if you found yourself searching things like, where to get Mounjaro near me, or maybe, how can I get Mounjaro cheaper, possibly online? Well, you're in the right place.
We want to give you the information you need to make some informed choices.
Let's start with the basics, maybe just a quick reminder of what Mounjaro is.
Sure. So Mounjaro, the active ingredient is Tirzepatide. It's a once-a-week injection. What makes it stand out really is its dual action.
Dual action.
Yeah, it activates two different receptors, GLP-1 and GIP. GLP-1 mainly helps release insulin when your blood sugar's high, slows digestion a bit.
Okay.
And GIP also boosts insulin secretion, but it might play a role in curbing appetite too.
So targeting both helps with the blood sugar control for type 2 diabetes.
Exactly. And that dual mechanism seems to be linked to the weight loss effects some people see as well.
Got it. So for someone needing to get this medication, what's the plan? What routes are we covering today?
Well, we'll walk through the main options. We'll start with, the traditional path, your local pharmacy.
Makes sense.
Then we'll definitely dig into online pharmacies, which are becoming really common. We'll even look specifically at Canadian insulin as one option there.
Okay.
We'll also touch briefly on maybe getting samples from your doctor, especially at the start.
And it's not just where, right? We need to talk cost.
Absolutely. Insurance, cost-saving tricks, and what to know if weight loss is the main reason someone's looking into it.
Sounds like a solid plan. Let's pick off with the local pharmacy, your neighborhood spot.
Right. The big advantage here is that face-to-face interaction. You can actually talk to the pharmacist.
Which is great for questions.
Definitely. Questions about storage, maybe other meds you're taking, potential interactions, or just, general concerns. It can be reassuring.
So how do you find one that actually stocks it? Do you just call around?
You could, but it's usually easier to start online. Most big chains, CVS, Walgreens, Rite, places like that, they have locators on their websites.
Oh, okay.
You can often search for the specific medication or just type in Mounjaro near me and see what pops up.
Good tip. And checking with your insurance provider, too. Sometimes they have preferred places.
Yes, that's another good step. They might have a network of pharmacies where your copay is lower.
But no matter where you go, local, online, anywhere you need that prescription, non-negotiable.
100%. A valid prescription from a licensed healthcare provider is an absolute must. No legitimate pharmacy will dispense Mounjaro without one.
Okay, so you found a local pharmacy, you have your script. What about the cost when you get to the counter?
It can vary quite a bit, honestly.
Oh,
The biggest piece is your insurance.
right.
What's your copay? Have you met your deductible for the year? Is Mounjaro even on your plan's formulary, their list of covered drugs?
Lots of variables.
Yeah, and sometimes the pharmacy's own cash price can differ slightly too, though insurance is usually the main driver.
Okay, so local is dependable, familiar. But what about online? There's a lot of talk about convenience, maybe lower prices. What's the story there?
Online pharmacies have definitely taken off, and the convenience factor is huge for a lot of people.
Especially if maybe you live near a pharmacy.
Exactly. Rural areas, people with mobility issues, or just, busy schedules. Ordering from home is appealing.
But it feels like you need to be careful online, right? How do you know if a place is legit?
That is super important. You really need to do your homework. Choose reputable, licensed pharmacies.
How can you tell?
Well, first off, they must require a valid prescription. If they don't, that's a major red flag. Another thing to look for is VIPPS accreditation.
VIPPS?
Yeah, Verified Internet Pharmacy Practice Sites. It's a certification program that shows the pharmacy meets certain quality and safety standards.
Okay, good to know. And you mentioned Canadian insulin earlier as an online option. Why them specifically?
Well, they're an example of an online pharmacy that explicitly lists Mounjaro as available. And crucially, they do require that valid prescription.
Right.
They focus on sourcing medications, sometimes internationally, to potentially offer lower prices. But they emphasize doing it safely and within the rules, requiring the script. Their site usually outlines the process clearly.
So if someone looks into Canadian insulin or a similar online place, how does the prescription part usually work?
Typically, you'll need to get your prescription to them. You might upload a scan or a photo of it, or sometimes your doctor's office can send it directly electronically or by fax.
Okay.
Reputable places like Canadian Insulin will have clear instructions on their website explaining exactly how to do that.
And the cost savings, is that generally true for online options like Canadian Insulin?
It can be.
Yeah.
Online pharmacies often have less overhead than physical stores, rent, staffing levels, things like that.
And those savings might get passed on.
Sometimes, yes. So it's definitely worth checking prices. If you look at a site like Canadian Insulin, compare their price for Mounjaro to what your local pharmacy quotes, factoring in any insurance you have. See if it makes sense for your budget.
They might have introductory offers too sometimes.
Yeah, keep an eye out for things like that. New customer discounts or promotions can sometimes add extra savings.
And then there's the delivery, straight to your door.
Which is a big plus for convenience, no doubt, especially for a medication you take regularly.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. What about getting it directly from your doctor? Is that ever a thing?
Sometimes, yeah. Particularly when you're just starting Mounjaro, your doctor might have samples they can give you.
Ah, like a starter dose.
Exactly. To get you going without having to fill a full prescription right away. In some, probably rarer cases, the doctor's office itself might dispense the medication.
But that's not standard practice everywhere.
No, it really depends on the practice. Best bet is just to ask your doctor if samples or direct dispensing is something they offer.
Okay, good to know it's a possibility to ask about. Now let's dive into the money side, which can be, frankly, stressful. Insurance, cost. What's the rundown?
Yeah, Mounjaro can be expensive, so figuring out the cost is critical. Step one is always talk to your insurance company.
Directly.
Yep. Call them or check their website. Ask specifically, is Mounjaro covered? What's my copay? What's my deductible? And crucially, do I need prior authorization?
Prior authorization. That's when the doctor needs to get approval first.
Exactly. The insurance company wants justification before they agree to cover it. It's a common hurdle for newer or more expensive meds.
Are there other ways to potentially lower the cost besides just insurance?
Yes, definitely look into programs from the manufacturer, Eli Lilly. They often have savings cards or coupons.
But there are usually rules for those, right?
Oh yeah, eligibility requirements like income limits or having commercial insurance. You need to read the fine print on their website.
What about people with very low income or no insurance?
Eli Lilly also has patient assistance programs, or PAPs. These are designed for people who meet certain financial criteria and lack coverage. Applying for those is definitely worth exploring if you qualify.
And price comparing again?
Absolutely. Always compare prices. Check your local pharmacies. Check reputable online options like Canadian Insulin. Prices aren't always the same everywhere, even for the same drug.
Okay. Now, a slightly different angle. Mounjaro gets a lot of press for weight loss, sometimes even for people without diabetes. What's important there?
It's true. It's shown significant weight loss results in studies. But if weight loss is your main goal, you absolutely need to talk it through with your doctor.
They need to decide if it's right for you.
Precisely. They'll assess your overall health, your goals, the risks and benefits. It's not a decision to make lightly.
And is it prescribed differently then? Is it off-label?
Using it primarily for weight loss in someone without type 2 diabetes could be considered off-label use, yes. That just means it's being used for something other than its primary FDA-approved indication.
But you still need the prescription.
Oh, absolutely. Doesn't matter the reason, diabetes or weight management, you need that valid prescription from a licensed provider. Online pharmacies like Canadian Insulin will still require it.
And it's not just about the shot itself, is it? Lifestyle matters too.
Hugely important. Mounjaro works best for weight management when it's combined with lifestyle changes, diet, exercise. It's a tool, not a total replacement for healthy habits.
Right. Let's tackle the really tough one. What if you have no insurance at all? Is getting Mounjaro even feasible?
It's definitely a challenge because the out-of-pocket costs can be very high.
So those cost-saving things become even more vital.
Yes. The manufacturer savings programs, the patient assistance programs, you absolutely need to investigate those thoroughly if you don't have insurance. See if you meet the criteria.
What about talking to your doctor about cost?
Definitely have that conversation. They might know about resources or perhaps discuss if starting at the lowest possible dose is an option initially, although dosing is primarily based on clinical need.
And price shopping is essential here too.
More than ever. Compare every option, local pharmacies, online pharmacies like Canadian Insulin. Look for any potential discount or better cash price. It takes effort, but it might save you significant money. Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive on getting Mounjaro, what are the absolute must-remember points?
Number 1, prescription. Always required, non-negotiable. Get it from a licensed healthcare provider.
Got it.
Number 2, if going online, verify the pharmacy. Look for licensing, VIPPS accreditation requirement for a prescription. Be cautious.
Makes sense.
Number 3, cost comparison is key. Check your insurance thoroughly. Explore all savings programs, manufacturer coupons, PAPs. Compare prices between local and online options like Canadian insulin.
Don't just assume the first price you see is the only price.
Exactly. And finally, choose the option that fits your life best, the convenience of local, the potential savings or delivery of online, maybe initial help from your doctor. Weigh the pros and cons for you. So, quick recap. Local gives you that pharmacist chat. Online, like Canadian insulin, offers convenience, maybe savings, but requires diligence. Your doctor might have starter samples.
Right.
But underpinning it all, get the prescription, understand your insurance or lack thereof, hunt down savings programs, and compare those prices.
That's the game plan. Taking that proactive approach really empowers you to navigate the system and access the medication you need, hopefully affordably.
And always keep that conversation going with your doctor. They're your partner in this.
Absolutely. They can provide personalized advice and point you toward the best resources for your specific situation.